I started watching NFL football when I was 8 years old. 4 of my favorite teams made it to the Super Bowl. They all lost the big game. By 2015, I was a big fan of the Denver Broncos. In April 2015, I asked myself the question, what if? What if I used the powers of the imagination to pretend as if they had already won it? Would that actually happen? Could I actually experience my imagination being transferred into physical reality? I decided to give it a try. First, I created a vision board. I had a big vision board of printed pictures that I'd found on the internet and neatly cut them out and pasted on my vision board. A vision board that had signified the team had already won the big game the following year. On the vision board, I put things like the Super Bowl trophy. 2015, the year I wanted them to win. I had pictures of the quarterback Peyton Manning. I had pictures of the Broncos logo. And phrases like "We did it." Broncos 2015 Super Bowl champions. I placed this board right beside my computer, where I would see it every day. Many times I sat down and admired this vision board. I began to imagine and contemplate what it would feel like if they actually did win the Super Bowl. Then I would do a 3 to 5 minute visualization. I then forget about the visualization for a few days. I only practiced the visualization whenever I remembered it as I sat down next to the vision board. Sometimes a week would go by before I visualized or remembered the desire again. Then after a few times of visualizing, I began to notice the team management started making moves and decisions that were different than usual. They began to hire different coaches. These coaches at one point or another all had some kind of relationship with the Broncos in the past, which was highly unusual. They either worked for or played for the team at some point in their career up until that point. This was strange to me. I was following closely the changes that were happening. Something else that was also highly unusual. For the first time in 18 years of his career, the focus of the team was not going to be on the quarterback Peyton Manning, but they were going to focus the team on the defense and the running game. He was not going to be carrying the team, instead the team was going to carry him. This was very interesting to me. This stuff was happening 10 months before the Super Bowl would be played, and before we knew the 2 teams that would play in the Super Bowl out of 32 teams. In September 2015, the season was about to begin, and I wavered in my faith of the vision board and light visualization I was doing. So, I decided to start a hardcore visualization schedule. I would visualize 3 days a week every week until it was done. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then rest the other 4 days. Each time I would fall into a deep state of hypnosis or a state similar to sleep. Then I would listen to fast-paced tempo music and begin to imagine 10 to 12 different scenes. The music made it exciting and helped me connect emotionally with it. I imagined myself watching the game and celebrating their victory. I imagined them winning on a game-defining play. I saw myself reading on the internet of how they made history. I saw in my hands a championship DVD. I lived in my imagination so strongly. I practiced them over and over again, sometimes for an hour to 2 hours straight. I learned them by heart. I made it fast and fun. Sometimes I became energy in my imagination and was observing the possibility from my higher self as I flew through the scenes at blazing speeds, watching and living in a movie trailer of all the best parts of the movie in my mind. The team began winning in miraculous ways. They started the season with a 7-game winning streak. This was in large part thanks to the defense. The defense was winning games. The entire season seemed like every game was life or death for them. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It seemed like a Cinderella story in the making. The team made it to the playoffs. I could see the passion in their eyes. They played with all their hearts as they beat one opponent after the other. They beat the Steelers in the divisional round. And when no one gave them a chance, they dominated the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. They beat the Patriots with a game-defining play as the defense came up big with an incredible stop. Lo and behold, they made it to the Super Bowl, and I couldn't believe that my manifestation was in the making. I was so sure they were going to win. I bet someone $300 they would win. No one gave them a chance to win the Super Bowl. It was the same scenario as the AFC Championship game. I believed in all my heart this was fueling their passion and they would dominate their opponent. That's exactly what happened. They dominated Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers with their amazing defense. They got stops after stops, and once again, the defense made an amazing game-defining play to win the game. Everything I had imagined in my mind had came to pass. They won on a game-defining play by the defense. I was celebrating their victory for the first time in my life. After 22 years of watching NFL football, my favorite team had won the Super Bowl. I was reading on the internet how this team made history of being one of the best defenses of all time. A few days later, I was holding and staring at their championship DVD in my hands. And I won $300. I absolutely believed that I had to do nothing. Imagine, and it will be done. If you need to learn something, you will be driven by inspiration, by your subconscious, the automatic mind. In this case, I had to do nothing. It was done at the appointed time. I entered a world where those events were already happening. I left out of one movie theater to go to another movie theater and watch the movie on that screen that was already playing. You can do this too. If you believe, then you can change the reality. Use your imagination.